All right, let's dive in. Have you ever had one of those moments where a personal tragedy just cracks your whole world open? Today, we're going to dig into the introduction of a book called When the Earth Speaks. And it starts with that exact feeling, that moment of breaking, and explores how something much, much bigger can be found in that crash.
I mean, what a line, right? This one sentence really just sets the tone for the entire book. It's talking about those incredibly rare, powerful moments that just completely shatter your normal reality. And it's in that break, in that shattering, that you might just catch a glimpse of something deeper. So let's talk about that crack in reality. For the author, this whole journey kicks off with one of those very moments. We're going to trace the story of just one single day. A day that began with a weird little intuition and, well, ended in a truly world-shattering loss.
You can see how sudden and jarring this was. I mean, the day starts with something so normal, an intuitive feeling to play a specific song, Cosmic Whisperer, just a little nudge. But then only hours later, everything is turned upside down by the devastating news about a friend. And it's that collision, that clash between the totally mundane and the absolutely tragic. That's what ripped open that crack in the ordinary world. And here's the key thing. This wasn't just about grief. For the author, that incredibly painful event actually became an opening, almost like a channel. That bizarre synchronicity, the song in the morning, the terrible news in the afternoon, it created this kind of space. A space where something totally new, something completely unexpected, could start to flow through. So through that opening, through that crack, something incredible happened. What started as this intensely personal tragedy just blossomed. It grew into something so much bigger, a whole collection of writings that are wide-ranging, almost cosmic. It's a really fascinating shift, isn't it? From one person's sorrow to this massive planetary perspective. And you can see the unique texture of these writings right here. It all starts out as you'd expect, elegies, songs for a lost friend. But then it expands. It moves into these really sharp observations about people just walking in a park. And from there, well, it opens up even further into these messages that the author says are being channeled directly from Gaia, the living Earth itself. A pretty wild journey. Okay, so this obviously brings up a huge question, right? A question the book itself dives straight into. How are we supposed to read this? I mean, are these messages from the Earth supposed to be taken literally, or are they more of a metaphor for something else? The book actually presents two valid ways to look at it. So on one hand, yeah, you could take it literally, that these are actual communications from a living planetary consciousness. Or you could see it all metaphorically, as this really powerful creative allegory for our deep environmental and spiritual concerns. And what's interesting is the author says, hey, both of these views have value. So the real takeaway here seems to be that maybe we're asking the wrong question in the first place. The author's point is that the power of these messages isn't about whether we can neatly label them literal or metaphorical. The real power comes from the genuine experience they grew out of. And that kind of truth, it often exists in a space that's way beyond our neat little categories. Now, how do you tie all this together? The grief, Gaia, the literal versus metaphorical stuff? Well, the author uses a central metaphor. And it's one of those things that's so incredibly simple, but also just profoundly deep. And believe it or not, it all comes from just watching people walk through a park. This really is the core idea of the whole thing. The way we physically move through the world, something as simple as how you walk, it's like a mirror. It reveals everything. Your entire philosophy of living, your level of awareness, your connection, or lack of connection, to the world around you. So the author basically saw two kinds of people, two distinct ways of being. You've got the unconscious walker. You know the type. Trapped in their phone, lost in their own head, completely preoccupied. And then you've got the conscious walker. This is the person who is actually present. They're seeing the sacred in the everyday stuff, feeling that connection to the living world. I mean, be honest, which one sounds more like you most of the time? And this is where it gets really big. This simple metaphor about walking in a park, it scales up. It becomes this massive statement about all of humanity. Think about it. We all share one planet, right? But our consciousness, our level of awareness, creates these wildly different realities on that same planet. It's the difference between being trapped in conflict and division and living in a world of connection and cooperation. So this whole idea that our awareness literally shapes our reality, It's not just some philosophical observation. It's building towards something. It's a universal call to awakening, an invitation for every single one of us. This is such a powerful reframing of, well, everything that's going on in the world. The book argues that all our global crises, they're not just signs of hopelessness. Instead, what if they're actually the birth pangs of a new kind of human consciousness? A really difficult, really painful, but absolutely necessary transformation. And when you boil it all down, the whole book lands on this one direct question for you, for me, for everyone. Which kind of walker do you want to be? And it's not just talking about a path in a park anymore, is it? It's asking about the entire journey of your life. Are you going to walk through it unconsciously, just going through the motions? Or will you choose to be present, to be awake, to be connected? And we'll end on this final, powerful thought. It leaves us with this incredible connection to chew on, right? The connection between our own personal presence and the collective reality we all create together. It kind of makes you think that maybe the smallest, simplest act of awareness, well, it just might determine everything.